The moment the trailer dropped, the internet lit up. A BL manga once considered too sensual, too intimate, and too technically difficult to adapt has suddenly become a prestige Netflix film with Ryoma Takeuchi and Keita Machida in the lead roles, directed by Keiichi Otomo, the mind behind the Rurouni Kenshin live-action films. 10DANCE is now officially arriving worldwide on December 18th. And based on the trailer alone, it might already be one of the most significant queer-coded Japanese projects of the year. So today, we're taking a quick but deep look at what this trailer really shows us, why fans are overwhelmed, and why 10DANCE is a much bigger deal than people realize. To understand the hype, you have to understand the foundation. 10DANCE is based on Inoue Satou's long-running manga about two men who stand at the top of completely different dance worlds. Suzuki Shinya is Japan's Latin dance champion, fiery, impulsive, and determined to stay in Japan for reasons the story slowly reveals. Sugeki Shinya is Japan's standard ballroom champion, elegant, disciplined, and ranked second in the world. Their names are nearly identical, but their personalities couldn't be further apart. They're constantly compared, constantly contrasted, and constantly irritated by each other's existence. Everything changes when Sugeki makes an unexpected proposal. They should work together, teach each other their strengths, and aim for the top in 10DANCE, a grueling competition that requires mastery of both Latin and standard styles. It's a rivalry. It's a partnership. And slowly, it becomes attraction. The manga is known for its emotional subtlety, physical intimacy, and the way dance becomes a language of touch, trust, and desire. It has long been praised as one of the best sports-themed BL titles ever written. It was even recognized in the BL award list, Kono BL ga Yabai 2019, which cemented its status as a standout work in the genre. Its emotional beats are incredibly difficult to capture in live action, which is why this trailer surprised so many people. From the very first second, the trailer makes one thing clear. Netflix is not shying away from the tension that defines this story. The two Shinyas, Suzuki and Sugeki, collide with pride and ego, pushing each other forward and pushing each other over the edge. Suzuki's chaotic Latin energy, Sugeki's sharp, elegant standard posture. The shots of hands on waists, fingers lingering on shoulders, faces hovering just close enough to break the viewer's composure. The trailer mirrors the manga's exact visual rhythm. Conflict first, chemistry second, and longing everywhere in between. Even the way the camera moves feels intentional, following their lines and shaping the emotional tone through their bodies. And then comes the line that changes everything. Dance isn't technique, it's love. It's not an exaggeration to say that the trailer is already being treated as one of the most faithful BL adaptation teasers Japan has released in years. Casting is another reason fans are losing their minds. Ryoma Takeuchi as Suzuki brings a kind of charisma that feels almost overwhelming in motion. Fans have already joked that he makes people want to do things to him. But beyond the humor, that intensity fits Suzuki perfectly. He's competitive, emotional, physical, and impossible to ignore. On the other side, Keita Machida returns with the acting style he's best known for. Quiet longing, deep internal tension, and a kind of slow-burn gaze that Reddit has officially described as a PhD in yearning sciences. Together, they have the exact push and pull dynamic that the manga built its reputation on. What makes this even more impressive is that neither actor had any ballroom dance experience before filming. Both trained from scratch, along with their dance partners played by Shiori Doi and Anna Ishii. The trailer only shows a few seconds of choreography, but the technique already looks polished enough to convince professional dancers. And then, there's the production quality. Keiichi Otomo is not a director who does things halfway. His live-action films are known for their precision, clean choreography, and visual storytelling fans noticed immediately. The lighting, the angles, the choreography pacing, and even the emotional framing all have that Otomo signature. Combined with a clearly high budget, international dance coaches, and Netflix's global distribution, this feels less like a niche BL project and more like a prestige romantic sports drama that happens to center on two men. It's worth noting how rare it is for Japanese cinema to produce mainstream male-male romantic films with this level of resources, visibility, and star power, which makes 10DANCE stand out even more. Japanese and international fans have been calling it the right way to adapt a manga, and it's rare to see this level of respect for source material in a BL-adjacent adaptation. But the real question is, why does 10DANCE matter right now? The answer is that Japan rarely adapts its sensual BL manga into live-action films, especially with two mainstream actors and this level of budget. This is happening at a moment when Japanese BL is shifting. Shows like Cherry Magic and Old-Fashioned Cupcake proved that romance between men can succeed locally and internationally. Meanwhile, Netflix has been quietly investing in queer-coded Asian projects with global appeal. And unlike Thailand's openly romantic BL industry, or China's heavily censored ones, Japan sits in a middle space, subtle, stylish, emotional, and careful. 10DANCE pushes that boundary further. It's still romance, it's still drama. But the marketing is unmistakably queer, and the sensuality is front and center. For many viewers, this film marks a moment where Japanese BL steps into a new lane. Elegant, cinematic, and unapologetically intimate. There is, however, one thing fans are already bracing for. Viewers familiar with the manga, and with Otomo's directing style, warn that this might not be a clean, clear, fairy tale happy ending. Not because the characters don't care for each other, but because the story isn't built around boyfriend labels. It's built around emotional growth, vulnerability, rivalry, and desire. Whatever the ending becomes, it's likely to stay true to that tone. For now, fans don't seem worried. The chemistry is strong enough that the journey is already worth it. The 10DANCE trailer works because it understands the heart of the manga. Two men who can't stand each other, can't escape each other, and eventually can't deny the gravity pulling them together. If the full film carries even half the intensity shown here, it could become one of the most important Japanese BL-adjacent adaptations in years. Not because it's loud, but because it's intimate, physical, and quietly vulnerable. If this breakdown gave you something new to think about, consider liking or subscribing. I hope this pause in the chaos made you think. If it did, tell me. Is 10DANCE the adaptation you've been waiting for, or is it pushing BL into a new era entirely? Until next time, this is GPkP.